Hello, my wonderful, beautiful friends. Welcome back to r/EntitledPeople, where you guys come to hear stories about people who truly think that they can do no wrong and that the world revolves around them. Guys, in this episode, you're going to hear 3 stories. The first, OP finds a lost cell phone belonging to an entitled person. The second story, OP finds a woman and her kids breaking into her swimming pool. And we'll finish up with a juicy revenge on a Karen. My friends, I do hope you stay for the stories today and hit that subscribe button for future stories. Almost 10 years ago, I saw someone lose their smartphone in real time. I was driving behind her and saw it fly off the top of her car on a busy highway. It was a little dangerous, but I pulled over, waited for a break in traffic, and darted out to grab the phone. It was miraculously unharmed. I kept driving around doing my errands until her phone rang. About 30 to 40 minutes later, I told her where the phone had flown off the roof, how I retrieved it, and mentioned that she must have put it up there while getting gas or something. And her response was, "Okay, could you bring it to me here in her town 30 minutes away, please? I work at a pizza joint." I told her that's nowhere near me, as I'm in my hometown. "You can pick it up here. I will meet you at the Dunkin' Donuts." She got annoyed and said, "Ugh, I can't drive all the way to your town. I don't know your town. Let's meet halfway at this popular restaurant." I told her that's not even remotely halfway. The popular restaurant is still in her town. She then said, "I don't have time for this." And she puts her boyfriend on the phone and he says, "Dude, what the heck is your problem? Give her back her phone already." This went on for a few minutes, the boyfriend getting tougher and tougher. I have zero tolerance for this kind of behavior, so I just hung up on them and shut off the phone. I was going to visit my grandfather the next day, so I kept the phone on me until then. When I got to Granddad's town about 2 hours away, I turned the phone on, called the girl's father, and told him everything. He was very apologetic, and I'm guessing it wasn't his first rodeo. I told him due to her rudeness and her boyfriend's thinly veiled threats, the phone could now be picked up at the local police station in my granddad's hometown. The dad's response is, "Well, it looks like she'll have a 3-hour drive both ways this weekend. Sorry again." OP's a lot nicer than a lot of people would have been. So I was scrolling through the comment section, and the vast majority of people that said that after the tough guy boyfriend came on the phone and basically screamed at OP, that they would have happily gotten back on the highway and chucked the phone out the window. So for some background, I recently had a new family move into my neighborhood. The neighborhood is relatively small and close-knit. The kind of neighborhood where everybody knows each other and we all get along well. The new family is a middle-aged couple with their 4 children. The kids' ages range from 14 to 2. I was hanging out in the living room just relaxing and watching TV. From the couch, I have a clear view into my backyard. That's when I noticed the retractable cover of my swimming pool begin to roll up. I was home alone and no one else has access to my backyard. For insurance reasons, I have a lock on my back gate because of the pool. The gate always remains locked, as we would be liable if anything was to happen in the yard. I rush outside and see what's going on. That's when the entitled mother is standing next to my pool with her 4 children. They're dressed in their swimsuits, and the mother is rolling up the cover of my pool. I said, "Excuse me, what do you think you're doing in my backyard?" She said, "My kids have been well behaved today, and they want to go for a swim. I saw that you have a pool, so we're gonna go for a dip." I told her that this is not a public pool and you're on my private property. I never told you that you're allowed to come on my property without permission. She then said, "Who the hell do you think you are? It's a very hot day and my kids want to go for a swim, and they will." I replied, "Not in my private pool they won't. How did you even get in my yard? The gate's locked." The entitled mother said, "Well, in my old neighborhood, we did this all the time. My kids are going for a swim now and you will not even know we're here. You're just being selfish and I will not allow my babies to suffer because of your bad mood." I'm now really angry and I told her I will not ask again. You either get the hell off my property or I will call the police. You're not using my pool and that is final. At this point, the entitled mother finally gets the cover off and says, "Okay kids, jump on in. Don't listen to her." I told her that I'm gonna call the police, and she sees that I'm serious and tries to reason with me. She says, "You would really not allow 4 kids to go for a swim on a hot day? What kind of heartless person are you? Just let us go swimming for an hour and we'll leave. Don't you want to be a good neighbor to us?" I told her no, I do not. "You just broke into my backyard without permission, and please get out now." The woman starts to mumble something to her kids, and then she grabs her 2 youngest kids and starts to walk out of my yard. I then turn around and see that her 2 oldest boys are standing by the pool. I start to walk over to tell them to go with the mom, and that's when I see what they're doing. Her 2 oldest hellspawns are peeing into my pool. She then turns to me and says, "Maybe that'll teach you to be a better neighbor. You deserve it." I grab the arms of the 2 oldest and push them out of the gate, and I said, "Get the heck off my property, you disgusting little brats." The entitled mother says, "Don't you dare lay a hand on my babies, or I will call the police on you." Who do you think they'll believe? A good mommy or a pathetic little psycho like you? You just got what you deserve. Enjoy swimming in your piss pool. They then all walk off laughing as they went back to their house. I was in complete shock and I didn't know what to do. I now wish I called the police after the first incident, but I sadly did not, and things have escalated with this family. Remember how I said I had a lock on the gates? Well, I found it broken on the ground. I have no idea what they used to smash it or cut it, but they were successful. I have since purchased a much more heavy-duty lock. Oh my goodness. If I were OP, I would have totally let her call the police. I would have loved for her to explain to police what she was trying to do that day. "Oh, well, officer, I decided that my kids were allowed to use this person's swimming pool, but the gate was locked. So I had to cut the lock, of course, and then I was trying to take the cover off the pool that I didn't have permission to use, and this homeowner comes out and grabs my boys' arms and assaulted them. So please, arrest this person now and lock them up." Oh my goodness. Some people are just absolutely ridiculous, guys. So, for some background, my cousin recently opened up her own salon. From a young age, she taught herself how to thread and wax eyebrows and developed an interest in makeup and hair. In 2020, she had a full-time job that was non-salon related, but decided to renovate the basement of her home to create a small salon space. She now spends her free time taking clients in at her home salon, and there's nothing but great reviews. So our city is once again in a lockdown until the end of January. The salon has been closed since the lockdown began, and the salon's social media pages had been updated to let the current clientele know that the salon is closed. Now comes the Karen. Karen sees a community post from October detailing a discount that the salon was having on a certain package we offer. She comments on the post saying that she can't believe the salon is open in the middle of a lockdown when her salon has to be closed. This is important for later. Karen fails to notice that this post was made in October, when the salons were allowed to operate as long as they followed safety regulations. Karen doesn't bother checking more recent posts, indicating that the salon was closed. My cousin doesn't see her reply at this time. The next day, 2 police officers show up on my cousin's door while she's at a doctor's appointment. The officers ask for my cousin, and my aunt lets them know that she's not home right now. Now, my aunt does not speak English very well, and she lets the officers know that she would call my cousin and ask her to come home. Maybe the officers didn't believe her, but they insisted on coming inside the home. So, long story short, my cousin managed to get a hold of the officers and was told that someone had reported her business. They claimed that she was open and providing services during the lockdown, and they had proof. My cousin knew this wasn't true, as the salon had been closed for quite a while. By now, my cousin had seen the comment from earlier and mentioned that she knew exactly what their so-called proof was, but the post in question was from October. My cousin was very upset at this post, and it was not even close to being actual evidence of her operating in January. She was also very upset that they insisted on coming inside the house with no cause or warrant when they could clearly see that my aunt does not understand the language very well. At the end of the conversation, the police officer apologized to my cousin, and we thought it was the end of it. Now, you must be wondering how we know that Karen was the one who called the cops. Well, she told us. So the next day, my cousin receives a message that she realized was from the woman who commented on the post. Karen decided to pretend like she's a customer. Karen asked, "Can I book an appointment?" My cousin says, "Hey love, we are currently closed due to the lockdown. Once the lockdown is over, we will be more than happy to book you in." Karen then says, "Oh, my girlfriend, she was there yesterday. My apologies." My cousin told her she must have gotten the date wrong. The salon is not taking clients until the lockdown is over. Thank you. Karen then says, "No, but I didn't get the date wrong. I also know that the police came due to you being open. I own my own spa that's closed, as yours should be. Go back to your own country instead of being in ours." My cousin decided to block her at this point, and my cousin was happy this was all over. Her sister and I were still outraged at the racist comment and how someone could make up lies about a small business that led to cops terrifying my aunt. When my cousin told me about Karen, the fact that she had her own spa really stood out. I did some digging. So, the revenge. It turns out, Karen runs her own spa out of her house. Doing some more snooping, I found reviews from her clients on her business page that were posted on the days that the city was under lockdown. The reviews could be from clients who received services before the lockdown and only now had a chance to write a review. To be sure, I found Karen's Instagram page. I decided to use Karen's own trick against her. I created a new account and followed her page so she couldn't see that I was related to my cousin. I then messaged her to ask about the prices for her services. I said, "Hey, I love your pics. I was wondering how much you charge." Karen says, "Hey girl, thank you so much. What services are you after?" I told her that I'm really interested in the BB Glow facial, and Karen responds, "That's awesome. That's my biggest seller for sure. Normally it's $125, but it's on BOGO, so you pay for one session and get two." I told her that's such a great deal compared to the others. When's her next available date? Karen responds, "Where are you located? I can't have people come to me in lockdown, but I travel to my clients." Karen was not operating from her home location due to lockdown restrictions, but was traveling to clients' homes. I then made up a lie about my home not having adequate space and asked her for her address, so we could meet up at my friend's place somewhere between her and I's locations. She foolishly told me her address. During this time, I also tried joining other community groups that she was a part of. In one particular group, people in the community were promoting their small businesses. She had recently made a post about discounts on her services for the month of January. I immediately went online and submitted a report about her business still operating, including screenshots, her address, full name, etc. A few days passed by, and I had forgotten to check up on it as I was busy with life again. I saw the incident report number on a sticky note I had on my desk and decided to check in. Apparently, this was not Karen's first offense. Karen had already been fined $750 for having a client in her home during the first lockdown in my city. After being fined, she decided to change her business model and go to the client's home instead. Now, she was fined $10,000. I was still following her on Instagram, so I decided to check it out. She had gone on a rant about how she was gonna do very bad things to the person who reported her. At the end of the day, Karen got what she deserved, and I fulfilled my dream of pretending to be Sherlock Holmes. It always amazes me how people who live in glass houses love to throw stones. I have no idea what Karen was trying to pull, but did she feel like she was entitled to destroy other people's businesses because she was caught operating hers? I have no idea. She might have been just really spiteful. And that, my friends, brings us to another end of r/entitled people. Guys, if you missed the last episode of r/entitled people, a Karen keys OP's car and then refuses to be arrested. Yikes. Guys, check it out if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you.